Back on SportsBit, Pauly and Teddy. Follow us on Twitter. I'm at Real SportsBit. He's at Teddy_Covers. Thanks to Intertop Sportsbook. 22 years online. Sign up, deposit, and win. Light card tonight in the association. This is on NBA TV. The Sixers at home against the Nuggets. Phillies 5.5, 224.5 the total. They are the 4 seed right now, but they're only a game back in the loss column of Cleveland. After this game, 5 straight against teams with a losing record. Our stats guy thinks Philly will be favored in every single game the rest of the season, Teddy. And the big thing here, because they've had this easy schedule, they're blowing teams out so they get to sit guys in the second half of these games.
Well, that's the key. I mean, the 76ers very quietly, 15-1 straight up their last 16 home games. 13-3 against the spread in those home games. This team's, just 1.5 games back of Cleveland for the number 3 seed right now. They're looking scary. And when you look at the minutes, again, 12-5 straight up since the All-Star break. But the minutes for everyone is down. Simmons, Covington, Redick, Embiid, Saric, all those guys. So when you look at the starting lineup that's not being forced to play major minutes, number one, Philly's going to come into the postseason with a little bit more pep in their step than some teams will. And number two, they're getting the playing time for the reserves that they need. Of course, as you mentioned, we have 5 straight against losing teams, and then at home against Cleveland for that number 3 spot. And of course, Ben Simmons, what's he have? Triple doubles in 4 of his last 7 ball games. And in the 3 that he missed, he barely missed. One, he only scored 6 points and got double-digit rebounds and assists. Another one, he missed by an assist and 3 rebounds. One, he missed by 2 rebounds. I mean, Ben Simmons is legitimately a triple-double threat every single night right now as a rookie. And you know what? I'd still give Rookie of the Year to Donovan Mitchell anyway.
Oh, come on. That's crazy.
I would.
Go Simmons. Tough stretch here for Denver, trying to survive without Gary Harris. This is the 5th game of a 7-game roadie. After this, they still have the Toronto tomorrow and then OKC to finish. They're trying to get the 8 seed. Unlike Philly, the last 10 games against teams with a winning record, they still have 2 games left against Minnesota. And not having Harris out there is a big blow. Although after they lost to Memphis, they've been a bad road team. Remember, they lost to Memphis, but they went to Washington and won on Friday. Malone on Harris, quote, "It's a very unfortunate. It's killing Gary. Gary lives for these moments. He's a big player to be without." They only played 8 guys in that win against Washington. And if they fall behind early, we see what Malone might do. Do you empty the bench? Do you keep people fresh for Toronto, which is Toronto's struggling as well? So that's something to look at and worry about, too, if they're trying to get in there as the 8 seed with what is on deck against a fresh Philly team. And as SBR did a great job looking this up, 73% when Embiid plays covering first quarters this year. 76ers, I think 2 in the first quarter in this one. They've been a money-making machine in the first quarters.
Although that's a trend that was paying great dividends. And now people have caught up with it. The markets have caught up with it. And we haven't seen Philly dominate the first quarters the way they were earlier in the season. But note the difference schedule-wise between these 2 teams. You're going to see a big disparity in their records down the stretch because, as you mentioned, the Nuggets have 10 straight games close out the season against opponents with winning teams, and Philadelphia on the other end of the spectrum. They're going to face mostly losers from here on out. Certainly their next 5 all against squads after this with sub-500 records. So you're going to see the Sixers record get better in Denver, maybe not so much. That doesn't mean that Denver's a weaker team than Philly. It means the NBA strength of schedule has dramatic upticks and downticks. The Nuggets right now, they're going to be up against it basically the rest of the way. Like the show? Help us keep the lights on. Please make sure to comment, share, and subscribe to all the Sportsbook Review videos. Thanks so much. Best of luck. Enjoy the game.